Hi everybody, this is Brian David Marshall coming to you from the floor of Grand Prix Vancouver. I'm here with Jordy Jacura. Jordy won a Grand Prix trial last night, got himself 2 buys. Something of a, you describe yourself more as a limited player than a constructed player.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice is that you get a lot of these, you're drafting, you get a lot of good rares of the current standard set. You're able to build a deck when you decide to go to a standard Grand Prix, huh?
That's exactly it.
So what deck did you choose for the Grand Prix trial last night?
I chose red-green aggro. It was the deck I had the most cards for from drafting. And I was able to borrow things I need pretty easily, and a friend who plays this deck regularly helped me out.
So what's the key motivation in terms of like what this deck does? I mean, we see, you know, the basic mana acceleration, Elvis Mystic, Sylvan Caryatid. Why only 3 Caryatids?
This deck really wants to be aggressive. I didn't want the full 4 because I want my things to be able to attack, and sometimes you just gotta attack with a Mystic, but that card just never can.
But the Caryatid does do hard work for you, right? You were describing like in the mono blue matchup.
Against mono blue, Tidebinder Mage can't slow me down when I use that to ramp out. Mono black can't Freakish Cure it. It blocks Ash Zealot all day in the red-white matchup, so it does good things for me against a lot of the field. Okay,
so that's your ramp suite. You got 7 spells to do it. You also have Scavenging Ooze low on your curve. What's Scavenging Ooze's primary job description?
It's great late. Just a 2-drop threat that can pull me out of some tight situations and grow large. I was running Burning Tree, but it wasn't cutting it. Ooze is just so much better against a lot of the field here today.
How often is removing stuff from the graveyard relevant to you?
Against mono black, it happens a lot because they're often binning my Polykranos with their Thoughtseizes.
So you just get free growth spells for your Scavenging Ooze.
In the mirror, it's huge. We're often fighting over oozes.
Okay. So let's talk about the bestow mechanic. There we go, the Boon Satyr. Boon Satyr, I know how it's actually pronounced. Yep. What's so exciting about Boon Satyr?
Some matchups, it really does shine. Like against blue-white, after they wrath my board, that's the perfect thing to do on their end step. If I'm in the mirror and they go turn 3 Domri, and I go turn 3 Boon Satyr to kill it, that puts me way ahead.
Right, so you get to flesh it out, but I mean also you can also just play this straight up on a creature and knowing your opponent has maybe a Supreme Verdict, and then you're just ready to go on your next turn.
If they can't answer my Stormbreath Dragon and I get to bestow it, that's usually the game right there.
So yeah, let's talk about that. We got a couple of cards from Theros here that have made a big impact. Polykranos and Stormbreath Dragon. So these are the cards you're ramping into with your ramp spells.
Yeah.
And these are the guys who do the most of your work.
They're both must-answer threats. They both can win the game easily on their own. They pull a lot of work.
You know, a guy who I feel like never got enough credit in the last block was Gorklang Rampage. I mean, obviously he's done well for himself. This guy's a house, right? Trample's a big deal.
Yeah, it steals a lot of games. Punching through, because I often get chump blocks. Swinging through, he does a lot of wonders. And
then here's a guy that we have not seen a lot of. This is the guy. You were like, hey, why are we doing a DeckTech? I'm like, I don't know, I might want to talk about Uruk Thar.
Yeah.
So what's the story with this big, giant, fat monster?
Well, my friend who plays red-green quite a bit in Standard talked me into it. I was looking at lists that played 1 Garrick, the 6-mana Garrick.
Caller of Beasts?
Yeah. But he's a little slow sometimes if they disrupt your ramp. Just doesn't do enough. This guy, against mono black, he's really painful to get rid of.
Okay.
And he can easily punch past the demon, especially since I have rampagers.
Right.
He helps a bit.
Yeah, I mean your deck is like largely this whole chunk down here is all creatures. So you know you have a lot of creatures that you can keep playing with Uruk Thar without any penalty. Up here we see a suite of, you have 7 ramp spells and 7 planeswalkers, 4 copies of Domri Raid and 3 copies of Xenagos. What's this guy doing for you? I mean, I guess technically also a ramp spell.
Xenagos, his 0 puts a lot of pressure on an opponent if they can't remove it. And sometimes I just get to go Xenagos plus and power something else out. And answering a Planeswalker plus a Polykranos coming down in one turn is really hard for a lot of decks. Hero's Downfall costs 3, not 2.
And I assume he has to like also get you over the top on monstrosing these guys sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Right, paying for your monstrous costs on your Holocronos or your Stormbreath Dragon. Also maybe helps you get to overload a Mizium Orders if you need to.
One of my favorite turns this so far was going turn 2 Caryatid, turn 3 play the other 2, turn 4 Xenagos plus, and then overload Mizium Orders. that was rather fun.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Speaking of disgusting, this little card here, Flesh and Blood. What's? I assume Flesh is rarely cast.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get it off itself and carry it.
It hasn't come up yet. It might at some point, but Blood is just a very good way to steal a game.
So this is it's just a burn spell.
Sometimes I've used it to remove a creature so I can grow my ooze to just win that way. I've also just attacked with Boon Satyr, don't block, okay, Blood Rush with Gore Clan, post combat, Blood 16U total. Just
You're like, I thought I was safe.
Yeah.
I thought I was at 16, I'm at 0. 2 Mutavaults, the full component of red-green lands, of Stomping Grounds and Temple of Abandons, and then some forests and mountains to round it out. So you feel really good with your choice. Like what were your matchups like in the Grand Prix trial?
In the trial, I played against Mono Black twice, which was a bit of give and take both times.
But I mean, I think this is something people at home want to know. Does this deck beat Mono Black?
It's beaten Mono Black every match I've had against it today and yesterday. It's not an easy match, but it's totally winnable. It definitely is. Your Planeswalkers definitely overload them. A turn 3 Domri is very hard for them to deal with.
Right, and a turn 2 Domri has got to be even tougher.
Yeah, it's very.
Let's just take a quick run through the sideboard you use, and then we'll let you get to the Grand Prix floor. A couple shocks, a couple Hunt the Hunter. That's not a card I've seen a lot of. Is this one of your?
I've seen actually a lot of red-green in this field, and so this was just a meta call for me because it's cheap, it's unexpected, and it's just going to help me win those mirrors. Right.
I mean, you were talking about how you can use blood to clear the way, but this also the same thing. You know, if you put this on a Gore Clan Rampager, you suddenly also you get to do 6 to a creature and
trample
attack.
Through,
and trample through. That's a lot. Plummet, Destructive Revelry, some more Mizium Orders, Chandra Pyremaster, and then of course the mandatory anti-blue package.
Yep.
No thoughts to Skylasher at all?
I feel like that card's better suited for green-white, where you can suit it up with Unflinching Courage.
Okay.
I didn't really want to have it cut into my package in this deck. I felt like the 4 miscutters were going to be enough for me.
Okay, and did you play against blue in the trial at all?
Yeah, I played against Mono Blue and I played against Blue-White Control.
Okay, and then the Miscutter Hydra did some heavy lifting for you?
Definitely.
Awesome. Okay, well, there you have it. That's a look at red-green aggro and standard. I'm Brian David Marshall. He's Jordy Jakuri, and we are on the floor of Grand Prix Vancouver.